The Dungeon Hub, a place for players to find like-minded adventurers, party up, and venture into the catacombs to defeat bosses and earn great rewards. That's what it was designed to be. What we usually see in the Dungeon Hub instead? People begging for coins, begging for items, begging for carries, begging for their wife to return. No, that was just me. Alright, but other than that, a whole lot of begging, really. Now, it's understandable to see these people be poor and confused. Everybody eventually starts off that way, both in game and in real life. Unless you have rich parents, then it's basically like starting with a Hyperion. Realistically speaking, it's not that bad of a thing. It's not like it harms the game in any significant way. It's just sometimes annoying when these people are really persistent in asking for free items, going out of their way to party you, friend you, or visit you on your island and then proceed to beg and send you 35 trade requests back to back, forcing you to close your island to visitors. But other than that, perfectly fine. The Dungeon Hub hasn't really changed much in years, kinda just like my old high school. And just like my old high school, there's a plethora of illegal activities going on here. And I'm not talking about the poor non who just wants to hold your Hyperion and promises not to run away. He will run away. If you give him that Hyperion, you're never seeing that man again. I'm talking about the far more damaging activities, like the scammers. Now, these guys come in all shapes and sizes, mostly plus sized. From the collateral scammers to the flex me your most expensive item and I'll give you 20% of its value guys. I genuinely don't even understand how people fall for these, but the fact that they still do them to this day means that people are still falling for them. As someone who has played other MMORPG games in the past, like RuneScape Classic, where scamming was far more prevalent, Skyblock does have a fair bit more safeguards, but no matter how many safety nets you put up, these scammers will still find a way to manipulate innocent players into giving them their items or coins. But the craziest kinds of scams are those that come from close friends. I've heard so many stories of people being friends for so many months, even years, some knowing each other in real life too, all to be thrown away for Skyblock coins. Clearly, these scammers are on another level. I mean, they have minions in real life working for them too. Now, you might be thinking, well, just use the party finder, that way you don't have to interact with these people. Well, the worst kind of people are in the party finder. And no, I'm not talking about the cat at 24 Juju Archer that says no dupes and kicks you if you dare even think of selecting his class. I'm talking about the ratters. Some of these people don't even play the game. They just rat people, steal their items, IRL trade the stolen items and coins for money, and are straight back to ratting. I imagine they must have had a traumatic experience and that's why they can't stand to play and progress normally, and instead opt out to ruin people's day. I assume the experience looked something like this.
I've never played Minecraft.
Are you open to playing Minecraft?
Now, these guys have many ways of ratting, but the most common one in the Dungeon Hub is they just advertise their dungeon party in the party finder and in the note they write that you must join VC. Now, personally, I don't see a reason why you'd need to VC in order to play floor 5. Maybe there's some professional league esports strategy that I'm not aware of. The comms in those voice calls probably sound like the comms they have in CSGO esports finals. Now, stating the obvious, there is no Tooth Fairy, there is no Santa Claus, and there is no voice call. Once you join their party, they'll invite you to their Discord server, where they're allegedly calling, and that's where people get ratted by verifying in their bot. I managed to get in contact with somebody that used to rat people, and I've prepared a few interesting questions to ask them so we can get a glimpse into what ratting looks like from their perspective. Hi, now just to clarify, you used to rat people, right?
Yeah, I did. I read a lot of people.
I have some questions here for you that I'd like you to answer. Could you do that for me?
Yeah, I got you.
Alright, so first off, why did you rat people?
It's kind of that like obvious, but it's really profitable, right? And like money and like actual coins. It's like think about it. If you get lucky, right? It's like gambling. You can spend 15 minutes and you can rat someone worth like 12 billion coins, and you sell that shit for like $600, and there you go. You just worked a job for like 30 hours and 15 minutes, and now you're juiced.
That's true, so you make a lot more than you would with like fire sales or buying the money through Hypixel, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Alright,
It's
well,
like the better version of buying gems.
yeah, that's fair, that's fair. What's the most amount of money you've made from a single ratted account?
The most from a single account, well, we hit it as a group, but it was upwards of 25 bill. And
From
it
a
was a really
single...
funny story. Yeah. because we found like a really clueless guy, right? He only had like 300 mil, and we were just talking with him, right? And like we were talking about it, right? We were looking into him, and we looked at his co-op, and we saw his co-op member had like 20 bill, and there was another one, and he had like 5 bill. And but the thing is, they were both offline for over 35 days. So if we just got into his account, we could co-op kick both of them and take all 25 bill, and that's what we did.
Wow, so that was a big hit for you, huh?
Yeah, it was a lot. We split it 3 ways. So I had like 8 bill, and I sold it all.
Damn, alright. Could you give me a ballpark figure of the total amount of money you've made from ratting?
Total, I think I can check. It's around 2,000. Upwards 2,000, I think.
Two
Because
thousand
it,
dollars.
yeah, USD.
Oh wow.
Because it realistically that would be a lot more, but coin prices got like fucked after a couple years ago. Like the inflation hit the IRL trading too.
Do you think it's also because of the fire sales being so prevalent?
I don't even think. I think it's because that's the thing, right? Is the value of coins goes down. Like more coins, less people are gonna pay for coins. So I mean,
Yeah,
it
that
just
makes
happened.
sense. Makes sense. All right. Can you recall any specific ratting case that was especially interesting?
I mean, I've never had anything like interesting, but I had one in particular that was really funny. I could send you screenshots of it, and you can put those up.
All right,
And
sure.
then there was one guy that lied about having cancer, so he tried to give his stuff back. He's like, "I have 6 months left to live. Can I like borrow my items back, please?"
Oh
And then he
man.
admitted to lying because we had one of our friends talking to him the whole time, pretended to be on his side, and he told him that he was lying. So he's just fucking lying about having cancer so he could borrow his items back.
He made one last attempt, huh?
He did. And then
All
yeah, the
right.
screenshots I sent you, that guy, when we like, so he was online, right? Because I was using a method. Let me think, what method was that? I was just sending them a code to log into their account. Like I'd literally just get them to, I'd social engineer them to give me their email, and then their code, right? I had two screenshots I used, and I got in his account, right? And he was still like online, so I just logged in, took, and I convinced him to log for a second. I went in, I took as much as I could. He logged back on. He was like, "Hey, you ratted me." I was like, and he pretended, or no, he had like my IP, right? But it was a VPN. I was on a VPN, so he's like, "I have my IP. You have 1 minute to give me all my stuff back." I was like, "Okay, my bad. Let me on your account for 1 minute, and I'll put it all back." And then he let me on, and I just took more.
He really let you back onto the account.
Yeah, he said you have 1 minute, and I went on and I took more. I don't know what he thought would happen.
Oh my god. Damn, that poor guy. Um, do you think Hypixel does a good job warning and protecting players from ratting?
I think they do a terrible job. They because that's the thing, right? The game, like, you need mods, and like outside tools for information, like Skycrypt, figure out your talismans or whatever. It's rare to see someone not using mods or like anything along the lines of that. Like discords for parties or whatever it is. And keeping that in mind, they should be doing a lot more because like it's children who play. It's Minecraft, right? It's a lot of children. They're not doing shit to like they have a fucking NPC at spawn that nobody on click like no one clicks on it. So these kids don't know anything. And again, like of course you can say that it's up to the parents, but even then, like how the fuck are parents gonna know like what an OAuth is or like what these mods are, right? Like if the parents don't know what's going on, they can't help the kids.
That's true, that's true. Do you have like any idea what the admins could actually do, like implement something?
I feel like it's a lot more on Microsoft themselves, but I mean, so that's the thing, right? Like, there's no, I guess, easy way for Hypixel to do anything about it besides like spreading information, like spreading awareness of it. Because even with some like a a good idea, I guess, is like the two-factor authentication, right? But again, that would just also cause a lot of problems, right? Because again, it's a bunch of kids. They'd like fuck up and forget their OAuth code, or like yeah, or like wherever they had it saved, right? If they have like an authenticator app, they'd forget about that shit and like fucking delete it or lose it or whoever knows. And then it's up to Hypixel to fix that. So that just lead to a lot more problems too.
All right, yeah, I get that. Okay, do you think ratting will ever stop?
I mean, like I said, I think that's 100% on Hypixel and Microsoft because right now it's really easy to log into someone's account. Like there's so many different methods, right? Like there's session IDs, there's OAuth, there's literally just convincing someone to send you a code, and if they don't read the email and they have no clue, like you can send them a screenshot that says one thing, they're like, oh, that's what this code is for, and they're too stupid to read the email. So, and like again, even the fucking craziest one is it's like where it says you're adding an application to your account, right? And that's some shit you'd see on like Google. If you're like logging into Discord with Google, it'll be like, do you want Discord to access this information about your account? And you're so used to just pressing sure, go ahead, because you don't think that like someone could actually access anything important through that.
Yeah, that's true.
So
People are used to just confirming that kind of stuff.
exactly. So it just leaves so many ways to get into someone's account. And again, these are kids; they're not aware of all this, right? Like, sure, they could be like, "I'm not giving you my password." Okay, but what about fucking? Can you click accept on this? They're like, "Oh, I've done this before, yeah," and then they're fucked. So I think it's on Microsoft really. Like they have to do more to prevent all these like methods. I think.
All right. Do you think ratting is wrong?
I think it's wrong. It is wrong. But like at the end of the day, that people are gonna do it. So like that's why I do it, right? Like think about it. If they're not gonna get ratted by me, they're gonna get ratted by someone else. 'Cause like if they're stupid enough to get ratted by me, they're stupid enough to get ratted by somebody else. So I might as well gain from it too.
All right, I see. I see your point. I see your point. Okay. And last question: did you ever regret ratting someone?
I mean, I feel bad about it, right? Like don't get me wrong. Like it sucks, but like I've never regretted it. Like I said, if someone's stupid enough to get ratted by me, they'll get ratted by someone else. And I might as well profit from it. It's unfortunate, but like that's just how it goes.
Well, do you have anything you'd like to add?
Um, don't get ratted.
So, I made this video to look into the dark side of the Dungeon Hub, and because the game doesn't really guide you properly, nor explain things the way they are, my friends tried to play Skyblock before, and they were stuck playing hide and seek with the villagers in the hub for 45 minutes because the game objectives told them that that's what they should do. The admins really need to rework the whole objectives and quests thing, as it's really misleading and confusing, and it doesn't really explain the gameplay all that well. I mean, I still haven't made a workbench, and I have over 7,000 hours of playtime. But anyways, if you like this video, let me know and I might make more for other areas in Skyblock. And thank you for watching.